restaurant chasing, and they got the glass window ahead of the kitchen, so you can see what they cooking back there.
They got back there.
I want to say, what y'all cooking? Make sure ain't nobody spitting in my food. What y'all cooking back there? I want to let y'all know what we cooking back here. Before the show, we have our pre-show meeting. In our pre-show meetings, they usually occur 6 o'clock Pacific time.
No, like 6:15.
6:15, because some individuals...
It starts at 6, but actually...
Some individual, I don't even know who.
Some individuals...
I don't know who.
Jimmy Butler? Don't only call me Jimmy Butler.
Some individuals get here like 5:15.
Chase gets here at 5:15. Your boy shows up around 5:30. The meeting starts at 6 for most of us. For Jimmy McCoy, it starts at us.
Jimmy McCoy!
Wait, hold on.
Yo, he did not just call you Jimmy McCoy.
I get here about 5:50.
What time you get into the meeting?
Just so they know exactly who late. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't leave, don't have them guessing on this
What
show
time
now.
does the 6 o'clock meeting start?
Look, during this meeting,
Jimmy McCoy, I can't
during
get over
this
that,
meeting, we talk about things. And I thought about this the other day, Shady. Let me know how wrong I am or if I'm right. If Jalen Hurts wins a Super Bowl, you have to, statistically and objectively, start to have a Hall of Fame conversation. On the surface, it sounds asinine, but I'm going to say one thing and one thing only.
It is asinine.
There are 6 quarterbacks since the turn of the century that have an All-Pro and a Super Bowl. Tom Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Breeze, Manning, Wilson. 6 have an All-Pro and a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts would enter that list of 6 since the turn of the century. As you can see, I'm no smarter than you watching this show. All of those 6 are either going to be in the Hall of Fame and are all definitely in Hall of Fame conversations. If Jalen Hurts does what only those 6 have done, being an All-Pro means you were elite at least for a year, and then winning a Super Bowl means your team was elite at least for a year, you have to now put him in the Hall of Fame conversation. That's just my thought. It dawned on me during our meeting. Wanted y'all to know.
You know what? When you said, and I heard this question, I said, man, is he? I did my homework. I think he would be a Hall of Famer if he gets this win. He's only been in the league for about 5 years. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. If he wins this Super Bowl, you know how type of different company that is to be in? Another thing about Jalen Hurts is he's about to change the narrative on quarterbacks, right? We look at guy, his talent level, right? How's he throw the ball, right? Yards, numbers. But when you look at him as a winner, that's going to be his own category because as I look at some of these guys in the Hall of Fame, like a guy like Trademan, right? I think Trademan was 3 championships. The dynasty of the Cowboys, Trademan was the big part of that, okay? Now, Trademan was a 57% winner. Jalen Hurts is 70. So let you know, I'm going to win. That's what I do, right? And I look at, even like right now, looking at the comparison of like, okay, having 30 touchdowns in a year. Trademan's done that, what? Never? My boy's done it 3 times. So when we arguing about like, is he a Hall of Famer? Yeah, because why do we play the game, fellas?
To win.
To win. In the 5 years, I'm already in 2 Super Bowls. And if I win this and I get a Super Bowl MVP, and he has an All-Pro and Pro Bowls, what else do you want? There's a lot of guys that we talk about that should be in the Hall of Fame that look good, look the part, right? Strong arm, different passing angles. Like a guy like, I won't even say names. I don't want to make it, I'm just about Jalen Hurts. And when I watch Jalen Hurts, he gets better and better and better. We talk about the Hall of Fame, he's only in his 5th year. You see the Eagles team, they ain't old. They're going to be going again and again and again. So if I had to vote for it, yes, I think that Jalen Hurts wins the championship this year. He can start being in the conversation of the Hall of Fame as a true winner.
What's wrong, Chase?
Go ahead, James. I need a moment.
You need some water, coffee?
I got water, I got coffee. Thank you.
It's tough. It's a tough conversation because when I think of professional football Hall of Fame, and I played this game and won a Super Bowl and led the league in touchdowns, made a bunch of plays. I'm not a Hall of Fame player. And my kids ask me all the time when they see Charles Woodson and they see, you know, some of my friends that's in the Hall of Fame, they like, Daddy, why you ain't in the Hall of Fame? And I say, Daddy ain't do enough. That's it, all right? I ain't do enough for a long period of time. But when you look at this, all right, early in Jalen Hurts' career, he will put himself in that conversation and on track of a Hall of Fame career. You're a Super Bowl champion. You're an All-Pro, all right? You've been to 2 Super Bowls. You're probably going to have an opportunity to get back to more, right? And you're 80 and 20-something as a starter, which means you're a winner. They are letting people into the Hall of Fame that win at a high rate, no matter how it may look, and All-Pros and Super Bowl rings. This right here within, what, 5 years?
5.
In the 2 Super Bowls, won 1. If he wins this one, it's probably going to be a high chance that he can get Super Bowl MVP too, because he's the quarterback. So if you win this one and you have a Super Bowl ring and the Super Bowl MVP, and you have an All-Pro, he's putting together a Hall of Fame career,
Right.
however it may look. It might not look flashy. Aaron Rodgers' Hall of Fame career, Lord have mercy. Drew Brees' Hall of Fame career, Lord have mercy. Peyton Manning, Lord have mercy. Numbers on numbers, touchdowns on touchdowns, whatever it is. Tom Brady's, Lord have mercy. But Jalen Hurts is putting together a Hall of Fame career no matter how it may look. And that's just the facts of it. That's just the facts of it. Because in my humble opinion, I don't know if Eli is a Hall of Famer when you're talking about talent-wise. But Eli Manning went to 2 Super Bowls and won 2 Super Bowls and beat Tom Brady. But if you sit here and ask me, is Eli a Hall of Fame player? My answer is no. But with what he accomplished, especially in the playoffs, you got to consider it. It's the same thing with Jalen Hurts. You have to consider his career being a Hall of Fame career if he wins.
You got to consider it, don't you, Chase?
No. Nope.
No, I said you have to consider it.
No, you don't. Like, I'm trying to be respectful because I think what Jalen Hurts has done this year, last year in his career has been exceptional. He's won at a really high rate, 80 wins, 20, 80 and 20 or whatever.
You know what it is?
No, I mean, 80 and 20, it's good, right? 80% winner. 64 career rushing touchdowns, 37 of those 64 tush pushes. Because I know we got in the conversation, hey, well, what about these rushing touchdowns? He might, a couple more years, he might be the all-time leader in touchdowns by 37 of 64 tush pushes, okay? In my opinion, there are Hall of Fame stats and accolades, and then there's Hall of Fame talent.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's a good
That
conversation.
is
Jalen Hurts is not even close, respectfully, to a Hall of Fame talent. Will he have the stats and accolades to potentially be in a conversation depending on how his career goes down the road, maybe year 10? It's way, way too early to start talking about it right now. Let me just put into context. We're talking about the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame. Busts are up there of it, okay? There's only so many players in it. In the history of our game, there are only 26 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
26 of all the amazing, great Hall of Fame talents, Hall of Fame players, Hall of Fame, all this stuff. In my opinion, it's disrespectful to those 26 players to start talking about Jalen Hurts right now this early in his career. Ooh. If I'm being completely honest with you. That's how I feel. Now, am I happy for Jalen as a player? I think he's had a great year considering what it was when they started 2-2. Do I think he's the catalyst of the team? No, I think Saquon Barkley's the catalyst of the team. And I want to be respectful in this, but I think he does not enter the Hall of Fame conversation after year 5, guys. How many quarterbacks are we talking about entering conversations after the 5th year? Let's just have his career go, see what happens to him, and you can't take away anything he's done.
Of course not.
And I will never do that. But I think it's asinine to start talking about it after the 5th year.
Is it though?
I think Chase said something wise to me. He said Hall of Fame stats, and then said Hall of Fame talent. I do think we need to update our module on what talent is, because everybody continues to tell me just how talented certain quarterbacks are. I'll mention one, Justin Herbert, because he is on the extreme end of the standard prototypical type of talent. Arm talent, size, toughness, throwing velocity, etc. But Jalen Hurts is an elite winner. Of 26 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame right now, how many gone to 2 Super Bowls? I don't say this as any jest, but again, Aaron Rodgers notably has only been to 1. He won it. Shout out to you, Aaron Rodgers. I think you're one of the 5 greatest talented quarterbacks ever playing. But again, how many of those 26 have gone to 2 Super Bowls? That's hard to do. Furthermore, we do talk about quarterbacks after 5 years. Russell Wilson is in the Hall of Fame conversation, not because of what he's done in the last 5. It's because of what he did in the first 5. Lamar Jackson had already entered into the Hall of Fame after he won his 2nd MVP, because every player with 2 MVPs is in the Hall of Fame. So Lamar Jackson ain't got to do nothing else. He's in the Hall of Fame. Eli Manning is in the Hall of Fame because of what he did in a 5-year period. He will get into it because of what he did in 2007 and what he did in 2011. Don't nobody care about 2003 to 2006, and we definitely don't care about 2012 till 2019 or 2020 when he retired. All it can take to enter a conversation, Chase, not to solidify yourself, but to be in the conversation to me, 2-5, This period of what Jalen Hurts is doing.
Can I
What
ask
was
you
your
guys-
answer?
You're talking about MVP.
You said
Yeah, I
he's in the
said
Hall of Fame?
yes. I said he's starting a Hall of Fame career, which he is. What's a Hall of Fame player to you?
Well, by definition, you have to have at least one All-Pro or at least one Pro Bowler. That's the definition.
No, I'm asking y'all, we in the locker room. We are in the locker room.
Okay.
We're in the locker
let me
room
switch
talking
gears.
football right now. What's a Hall of Fame player to you?
To me, a Hall of Fame player is Hall of Fame talent. But I am not the ultimate arbitrator of what is Hall of Famer. But to me, then me and my little low vibration level of thinking, a Hall of Fame player to me, an elite talent. Matthew Stafford. You've always been talented. You look different than everybody else. That's to me. But I understand that I don't decide. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame player to me, but I respect being a Super Bowl MVP twice so much, he better get in. I played with Eli. I was on practice squad. I know Eli's game well because I had to do the plays to get Eli ready to play the Philadelphia Eagles and to play everybody else. I was on practice squad. I was defining. He was bad. Not only was he not good, Eli, when I played there in the New York Giants, I played for New York Giants in
He's threw for a
2013 on
ton of
practice
yards
squad.
in his career, though.
In 2013, all I'm
Played
suggesting
a
is
lot of years.
Yeah, he was bad. Not even was he not good. Eli was bad. Eli a Hall of Famer, though. I'll stand 10 toes on that because of what he did.
That's debatable.
What he did. 2 Super Bowl MVPs, what he did. If Jalen goes to 2 Super Bowls, 5 years, win 1, plus an All-Pro.
So
Go ahead.
So one Super Bowl win and one second team
Because
All-Pro.
I want to know what's Hall of Fame players. Like we talking. What's a Hall of Fame
for me,
player?
though, I like to think of a Hall of Fame player being elite at your time, right? Being elite at your time, being one of the better players in your position at your time. That's what Hall of Fame is. How can you go to Hall of Fame? He wasn't that. That's why like Eli. It's tough for me to put him in there because I played in his eras, and there was never a year where we thought, oh man, Eli's an elite player. Now, if you want to detour a little bit, he did win 2 championships. You did beat Tom Brady. So them things kind of stick out to me though. So I guess when you ask about the players, Hall of Fame wise, it got to be either of them things. Like you had a crazy accomplishment, or you were the elite best at your position around your time.
And that's not Jalen Hurts during this time. Like you might say he's an elite winner. That's way different than elite talent. Like look at the quarterbacks around his time who have a chance if they do enough that we probably are in the conversation. Mahomes, Josh, Lamar, Burrow, Stafford.
What's Josh done that Jalen ain't done, Coach? I'll wait.
See, that's
You don't. If he wins an MVP this year,
If he beats him, if he beats him, right, then what?
If he
So the same way how.
But I'm saying these guys, you would say 5 to 10 years down the road, depending on what they do,
Right.
they're going to be in the conversation along with Matthew Stafford, those 5. And then you have Jalen Hurts.
But
It's like
Josh,
not everyone can get, not everyone can get in.
Eli, we just said that Eli was never one of the top tier. He probably had no All Pros, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, Eli ain't got no
I'm just saying, guess. I can't see him being an All-Pro. But anyway, what I'm saying is he beat Tom Brady. And now it's, oh, man, that's why Hall of Fame, because he beat Tom Brady on a championship.
Correct.
So if Jalen Hurts beats the almighty Patrick Mahomes, it should be the same thing, right?
Correct. It has to be.
In 5 years, been to 2 Super Bowls, he beat Patrick Mahomes.
I just don't think they let anyone in the freaking Hall of Fame as a quarterback, guys. I understand the conversation and I respect the conversation, and I can see it maybe eventually taking place. His story's yet to be written, his career's yet to be written. But to start it, for me, of a player the caliber of Jalen Hurts' caliber, after year 5 is asinine.
Let me suggest this, because I won't you
I know
all
what you're
agree-
saying, and I agree with what you're saying.
But don't we all agree the next 2 to 3 years will be very telling? Because right now there's only 26
Yes.
QBs in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. I don't know.
But in the next 3 years,
No,
we
and
should
how many
get-
people get it? You should
in the
get at
next-
least
We should get 5.
5.
Yeah. In the next 3 years, we should
That's
get
what I'm
5.
saying. There's gonna be a lot more.
5 special ones though.
Of course.
Jalen to me isn't.
But we're going to get 5. So what that means is now it's going to be at least about 31.
We will.
That's
gonna get Van,
why,
gonna
that's
get
why I'm
Breeze,
asking
you're gonna
y'all.
get
That's
5.
why I'm asking y'all that question,
Roethlisberger,
man,
there's
because
a lot coming.
like from a dude that's never gonna get into the NFL Hall of Fame, it's special dudes in there, dog. Like if Shady gets into the Hall of Fame, we easily could come in here and
Let's
say,
go,
"Did
baby.
you
I
watch
hope you
Shady
get
play
in.
the game of football?"
I hope you get
no,
in,
No,
dog.
no. Like I'm being dead serious right now. Like, did you watch Shady play the game of football? Make you miss in a phone booth? Dude's unblocked. Like, dude was special, dog. And he has the numbers to back it up. With all due respect to Jalen Hurts, and I said he's on the Hall of Fame career.
Shady got the gold jacket on right now.
But James, there's a lot of non-special cues in the Hall.
Right.
Acho,
Because Troy Aikman was not special.
he won
He
3 Super Bowls.
wasn't special.
He was,
Joe Namath. That's it?
Joe Namath.
Oh, Joe Namath was not special. I've had to watch his tape to prepare just for life. He wasn't special.
Bro,
so it's a lot of cues.
You talking
not
about
special.
you talking
You're
about
talking
quarterbacks
about
in 1959 with leather helmets,
Troy
dog. Okay,
Aikman.
at least like compare Jalen
Troy.
Hurts to the dudes that got the
Troy can't be
headset
your
in their
only
helmets,
argument,
man.
dog.
There has to be, bro.
You cannot, but
Then make it Eli.
Eli's not in yet.
Fair.
There's
but he's in the
26
conversation.
in the-
But Eli's in the conversation.
I totally
and all
agree
we're
with you.
saying is Jalen should be in the
and that was-
conversation.
Eli only
conversation.
started to get in the conversation after 4 years that he started playing. We're
Let
talking
me
about
ask y'all
year
this.
5.
How do y'all
We're talking about year
compare,
5 for
last
Jalen.
thought, how do we compare Jalen to Big Ben? Big Ben, no All-Pros. Jalen, 1 All-Pro. Big Ben, 2
Big Ben
Super
ain't got no
Bowls.
pros?
But obviously,
Big Ben got
Big Ben,
2
no
Super
Super
Bowls,
Bowl
right?
MVPs, 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
First one obviously was on the back of the defense. Jalen Hurts, many would suggest, is on the back of the team if you want to. How do y'all compare
During his-
James? That was really your era because you saw Big Ben in the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Play Big Ben in the Super Bowl.
How do you compare Jalen to Big Ben?
Big Ben's not a 70% winner either. That's something
Yeah,
like that.
let's just prime Big Ben and Big Ben's his career. You thought he was legit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ben was
Legit. Took over games.
Big Ben was one of the best.
I just can't put. Listen. This is where I'll
Jalen
leave
don't
it.
take over games.
Let's just let me hold on. This is where I'll leave it. I don't think that he should be in the conversation.
I'm not messing
I don't think a quarterback should be in the conversation if he's not taking over games.
messing with him, dog. I'm not messing with that dude, man. I ain't playing with him.
Wild conversation.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.